What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Today we will be looking at all the latest Arsenal news. Who are we potentially selling? Who are we potentially buying? What is going off in the forever ongoing world of Arsenal? It's like a soap opera, EastEnders settings, people. You know, who needs power and ghost when you got things like this going off at Arsenal, you know? Big up to everyone in the chat, and thank you very much for all your amazing support on the recent videos. It's been, we've been getting great numbers, over 1,000 likes in pretty much every video, and the subscribers are going up at a nice rate. And big up to all of you for tuning in. Hope you're safe and well wherever you are in the world. Phil Mitchell settings, as Jeffrey says, man, we're here, and I'm on time, people. You know what I mean? 2:30 on the dot, man, was on time. None of this, late, and you lot saying Jamaican time. I was here right on time today, people. Cameron voice, show some courtesy, Curtis. I remember that tune, man. People used to call me out on that when Cam was dissing 50 back in the day. I know my hip-hop people. Big up to all of you anyway. Familiar names in here. Hope you're safe and well. Finally on time, yeah? Road to 40K. Green screen settings, man. I know. Some people get annoyed with this. Oh, he left as he went to United, but the memories, the player, what a player, man. The guy was absolutely elite. What would we do right now to have a player half as good as this guy at Arsenal? I would genuinely give up like 15 Arsenal players to get this guy back at his prime. For me, one of the best players, if not the best player that Arsenal have had during the Emirates era. I know, obviously, we had Thierry Henry for a couple of years at the end, but he was, he was getting injured. He wasn't at his best. I would say along with probably Fabregas, but I would say Sanchez probably edges it for me. I just think he was an unbelievable player. Seriously was, man. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, people. Remember me when you reach 200K subs? Listen, I remember all of you, man. I know all the names in the chat. Trust me. Big up Ethan, who said, big up Curtis, I voted for you. Listen, link in the description below. I know a lot of you have done it already, but we're trying to win trophies, people. It's hard being an Arsenal fan right now. It don't look like we're going to win too much silverware, but I'm up for 3 nominations in the Football Content Awards. Best New Content Creator, which is the one we're really targeting. Best Content Creator, which is the biggest award of the whole competition. I think I'm up against like AFTV and United Stand and all sorts. So even to get nominated for that one is a blessing. I think the other one is Best in Video. Links in the description. If you wouldn't mind voting for me on that, particularly that Best New Content Creator, then I would really appreciate it. Make sure as well you go and support Turkish and the Big Six show, which for me is one of the best shows on YouTube. I think he's in for Best Premier League Podcast, so go and vote for that as well. People, big up to all of you for tuning in. John said, Curtis, my guy, we need a Denilson background. Boy, I don't know about Denilson, Again, one of the Brazilians that we signed that I wanted to see his passport because he did not play like a Brazilian. Him and Andre Santos, I needed to see both their passports because to me, I think them man were from somewhere else. They might have had Brazilian grandparents, but but big up to everyone in the chat. Let's get into the latest news that is the forever going roundabout of Arsenal, linked with everyone. Although we have actually signed a few, so I can't say sign no one. But we're being linked with today, as you can see by the title of the video, former Tottenham right back, current Atletico Madrid right back, Kieran Trippier. He apparently is available to leave. Atletico Madrid have said that he's able to leave the football club. Now, as you can see by this story, according to Mark Irwin, Arsenal are ready to revive their interest in Kieran Trippier, but Atletico Madrid need to slash their asking price. They were shocked when Atletico demanded the full 34 million release clause within the defender's contract. Now, I've been reading up on this a little bit. They reckon there could be an agreement somewhere around 20 million, maybe just above, for Kieran Trippier. Now, apparently, Arsenal were trying to do a swap deal for Hector Bellerin. Naturally, and not surprisingly, Atletico Madrid said thanks, but no thanks. They don't want Hecky B anywhere near their club. All right, let's just talk about the facts before I give you my opinion. And you people in the chat, you great legends in the chat, give me your opinion. He's 30 years of age. I thought he was 31. He turns 31 in September. So next month, he turns 31 years of age. Not that old, but at the same time, hasn't got that much time at the top level, you would think. For me, when I saw Trippier in the Premier League when he was at Tottenham, I honestly viewed Trippier as a weakness. I remember Alexis Sanchez actually ripping him apart. Now, I know Sanchez ripped a lot of people apart. He was an elite winger. But I just didn't rate Trippier. What I will say, he's got a fantastic set piece. You've seen him score free kicks. He's got a great cross. He gets forward. Defensively, for me, he isn't a world beater at all. Now, look, got Chelsea fans saying, take drink water. Yo, it wouldn't surprise me if they went for him. He's former Spurs. I mean, I don't get too caught up in that. If you get a player who was very good at Spurs, then fair enough. I didn't think he was great at Spurs. 31 next month, earns 80 grand a week. 20 million to 22 million, they reckon, to get him. I know he won the title last year. He won the title in Spain, but let's face it, that Atletico Madrid defense and the whole structure of their team, I think generally makes players look better than what they are sometimes. You know, Trippier went in there and just looked quality. I want to know your thoughts. People. Let me know in the comments. I can see a lot of you saying you put the vote in, so I really appreciate that, and blessings to all of you on that. I know we've signed a lot of inexperienced players, so maybe the club are looking at it saying we need someone with a little bit more experience, but this just doesn't excite me one bit. I get it. He's an experienced player. We've got a very inexperienced back four. I think Tierney's 23, 24. Gabrielli's around 23. Ben White's 23, 24, I believe. So to have a guy at right back who's going to be, 31, maybe the club feel we need some experience. As I said, very good at crossing. Redondo said, Curtis voted for you in both categories. Your best vid, lacquer, you prick. Oh, man. The emotion of Arsenal. Cello said, miss me with Spurs sloppy seconds. That's kind of the feeling that I have. I can't help but feel that. Put it in my votes. Hope you win an award. Big up, bro. We need Max Aarons. I know a lot of people were getting on to Max Aarons yesterday because he did get ripped apart at City, but it's City away. It's tough for Norwich. I agree with this. I got to be totally honest. I would rather play Ainsley Maitland-Niles than buy Kieran Trippier for £22 million. I know they're asking here for 34, but when I opened up the report, they believe that around 22 million could get this deal done. I don't view this as a positive signing. Some of you may see it different. Experience, quality at crossing. Just won the Liga with Atletico Madrid. But for me, former Tottenham, which doesn't help, wasn't very good when he was in the Prem, in my opinion. Defensively, is not great and turns 31 next month and he's on 80 grand a week. If he comes to Arsenal, he's going to want a pay rise. You're giving him 90 to 100 grand a week. To Kieran Trippier, he's going to want at least 3 years on that deal. Taking him to his 24. For me, 34, should I say, not 24. For me personally, I would stay well clear of this deal. Seen some of you in the chat saying the boy Baku, the German right back for the Germany under-21s, looks a very good prospect. Max Aarons for me. Lamptey is probably out of the way now with these injury problems. Clayton said if they sign this guy, I'm done. It'll probably happen as it's nothing exciting. You're probably right, Ryan. You know, when we were in for Ramsdale, I said, you know what's going to happen, don't you? We're going to end up getting this one because nobody really is excited. When we were linked with Tavares and all the dog antics come out, I said, you know what's going to happen? This deal will get done because there's an element of controversy around it. Bellerin and Cedric got to go. I mean, definitely for me, Bellerin. The reports are that Arsenal are desperate to get rid of Bellerin before the transfer window closes. I don't see anything other than a Hector Bellerin loan. I don't think anybody will go anywhere near him in terms of a permanent deal. Livramento, yeah, I mean, Chelsea, they're young players, you know. look like they've got more to offer, and we're buying these old, washed-up players. People saying Fabrizio has just tweeted. I can see it now. Yeah, regarding Willian, I will bring that up shortly, people. Hopefully, we got some good news. Don't remind us of Baku. You know what? A lot of people said that. They go, "Oh, this guy's named Baku. I don't want us to sign him because it brings back bad memories." Big up Jogbino. He said, "I thought it was a youth rebuild. Why are we signing him?" I mean, listen, I've got no problem with signing an experienced player. But if Arsenal are signing a 31-year-old, all right, 31 in 3 weeks, but a 31-year-old and giving him 100 grand a week, he's got to be a top-level player. Kieran Trippier, for me, I wouldn't go anywhere near this deal. I would have absolutely no interest in this deal at all. Surely there are better options around than Kieran Trippier. Tucky said, for once, I agree with this signing. What do you see in it? Give me the positives. Obviously, I've tried to dress up the other side of it as well. People will say experienced in an inexperienced back four, knows the Prem, won the league with Atletico, England international. But for me, 31 next month, 100 grand a week, 22 million, 3-year contract, taking him to the age of 34. And I actually didn't think he was a very good right back in the Prem, I got to be honest. Big up Broads in the chat. Hope you're well, my bro. Said 34 million for Trippier. He's like 34 himself. I'm telling you, it will be Arsenal will probably get this done because it's a typical Arsenal signing. The one we don't want, you know. Can't be any worse than Bellerin. I hear you in that sense, but I think we got to aim higher than that. We can't just purely say, "Oh, we'll take it because it's better than what we've got." We need significant improvements. Look, I'm going to be totally honest, right? This is me just trying to put a spin on this in case it happens. If he comes in, you might get a decent year to 2 years out of him. You would hope that Simeone has actually improved him as a player as well. And that you could squeeze 2 years out of him. But for me, I wouldn't like this deal personally. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think we need a new right back. But if you're not going to improve significantly on what we've got, then leave it. Play Ainsley at right back, I'm telling you, and develop him. Rumours are people saying that he's told Arsenal he wants to play at right back if he can't get in midfield. I'd rather work on a 24-year-old England player than sign a 31-year-old on a massive wage who's probably winding down his career. DJ Ash said, surely there is someone younger with experience that we can go for. Max Aarons is good. Rumours that Max Aarons is available for 25 million. Why would you buy Trippier for 22 million? It makes no sense. V Rage said 2 years with an option of a third gives you time to get a better long-term option. That's maybe what Arsenal are thinking. Maybe they clearly don't want Max Aarons. And maybe they're just thinking we need somebody short-term for a couple of years while we look for a longer-term solution. And maybe they're desperate for experience. You know, it can be difficult to have a back four that lacks experience in the Premier League. I wouldn't be surprised if this deal happens. I swear I could see this one happening. It's got Arsenal written all over it. Big up Don Draper. I hope you're well, my bro. Go and follow him on Twitter. Lots of great content regarding Arsenal transfers, particularly with the French market. He said, Arteta can't keep getting away with these decisions on and off the pitch, mate. It looks like he is, but hopefully at least we get some more pressure on him. Kaylash said, hey, Kurt is still recovering from Sunday. Skipped your therapy yesterday. Couldn't hear the word Arsenal anymore. I hear it, bro. Sometimes you need that 24 hours to just recover, you know. Is experience overrated? I've said it. Experience is only good when it has a positive influence on your team. If it's not positive, if that player is making mistakes himself, it can actually drag your defense down, in my opinion. So it depends on the kind of experience. Broad said, bro, we are a joke. We get Odegaard instead of Buendia, Trippier instead of Aaron, Sambi instead of Aouar. Like, it makes no sense ever, ever, ever. And, I mean, do you know what? I will say just one thing. I've seen a few people saying that Buendia hasn't looked great in the first couple games. Listen, it is only 2 games, and I'm sure over time he'll become a much better player. For me, Aaron's, of course, all day long, I take Aaron's over Trippier. Sambi was only, 7-8 million cheaper than Aouar. So in that sense, I get you. I feel we should be signing Aouar as well as Sambi. But yeah, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. That's the quote, people. Big up Curtis. I read Arsenal are lining up Conte. Your thoughts? I mean, listen, we're going to talk about Conte shortly. I had a few messages yesterday. It's funny, man. I love it, though. I'm open to it. Don't worry, people. I've got no problem with it. Some people were in the comments going, I can't believe you think Arsenal should go for Conte. You've got zero chance of getting him. Why would he come to Arsenal? He wouldn't work for this owner, blah, blah, blah. And listen, I completely hear what people are saying. From the outside, it looks like, how could Arsenal get Antonio Conte, right? Antonio Conte is looking for massive jobs. He's going to want money to spend. Apparently, he wants 6 to 7 staff members to come with him, and he wants around £15 million a season. But Arsenal are going to have a big decision to make. Now, there are rumours going around today, and I'm about to do a share screen, but this isn't the full article. There are rumours going around today that Mikel Arteta has been told by the Kroenkes in a face-to-face meeting over the weekend while Josh Kroenke was here, if Arsenal's fortunes are not turned around by the next international break, not this international break, the next one, which is in October, Arsenal have 4 league games after this international break, right? We play Norwich at home, Tottenham at home, Brighton away, and Burnley away. If the fortunes are not turned around, they believe his job could be finished. It could be done. Arsenal will have a major decision to make at that point, right? Arsenal can keep going for these mid-range managers. 6 million a season, Arteta. 8 million a season, Unai Emery. And I'm not being disrespectful to Unai Emery because he has a lot more pedigree to his name than Mikel Arteta. But you wouldn't still class him as a top-level manager. He's a good manager. If they keep going, we'll give you 6 million, you 8 million, you 7 million, and then you've got to sack him and pay him off and pay his coaches off. Then you've got to sack Arteta and pay him off. Sometimes it makes more sense to pay for quality. Buy cheap, you buy twice. Yeah, the Primark shirt might look good. You might get away with it, but put it in the washing machine and stuff can go crazy. Sometimes you're better off just going Harrods and buying the nice, little bit extra, and it might last you a few years. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. You can't keep cutting corners. It's not working. What is the difference with the big clubs right now? The manager. The only big club in the Premier League that hasn't got a top-level manager is Manchester United. Manchester United get away with it to a certain extent because they've got so much individual quality in their team. They win games because of Pogba, because of Bruno, because of Rashford, because of Greenwood. Sancho and them guys as well will do the same. But they probably won't win a title with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge because I don't believe he knows how to get the best out of that team. You look at the other teams, Thomas Tuchel came in, turned around Chelsea. Lampard couldn't do it. Klopp and Pep, 2 of the best, if not the best 2 managers in world football. Tottenham have got Nuno. I don't think he's elite. I think he's a solid manager. That is the difference. And you're right, Lacopa. They do want a puppet. They want to pull the strings. Say what I want you to say. Do what I want you to do, Mikel. If I say jump, you say how high. But guess what? That ain't going to get you nowhere. We have a group of individuals in the dressing room that are not playing for him. They're not reacting to his instructions. They don't believe in his process. There's the word, people, process. But they don't believe in it. When's the last time Aubameyang looked happy in an Arsenal shirt? How come Lacazette, Aubameyang, Pepe, Willian, how come all these attacking players with pedigree are unable to thrive under this manager? In my entire lifetime, no matter how bad Arsenal have been, we've always been able to attack. We've always been that team. You go on holiday, who do you support? Arsenal. Oh, great football. Arsene Wenger. Everyone worldwide knew what Arsenal were. Even when we went years without winning a trophy, style, philosophy. We stood for something. Right now, we're not standing for anything. We got no style, no philosophy, no ideas. and no hope under this manager, in my opinion. He still has a chance to turn it around when the players come back, but things are looking very difficult. Big up Fran in the chat. Go and check out his channel, people. Good friend of mine, as you know. Said, buy IKEA sofa and soon got to replace that crap. Mate, I did the same thing. Now you've said IKEA. Well, when I first moved out, many years ago, people, went IKEA, saw this sofa, looked great. You know, they put the lights on it. It looked all nice, you know, nice material. After a few months, you know, started creaking. Looked underneath. It looked like they'd chopped down a tree outside and just hacked it all together and put some material on top of it. Very soon I had to buy a new sofa. We learned the hard way, people. Put some respect on Primark. Yeah, I don't even know if we're Primark right now. We're moving like them Fruit the Loom t-shirts that you just print yourself and slap a little iron on, you know, logo on the front. I don't even know if we're at Primark standard, but you know my philosophy, what I'm saying. So some people are saying, why would Antonio Conte come to Arsenal? Why would he? We're a mess. We're mid-table. We've spent the majority of our transfer budget, so you wouldn't expect him to get a lot of money in January. Why would he risk his reputation? This is the question that a lot of people are asking. I believe if, and this is a big if, people, if this board sack Mikel Arteta in October, which is what this Telegraph story is saying, if Arsenal don't turn things around by October, Arteta's on his bike. You cannot go and get another mid-range manager, give him 8 million a season. You're going to have the same problem in 18 months. And you're going to be right back here. And you're going to have to sack another manager. What turned around Liverpool's fortunes was Jurgen Klopp. It was Jurgen Klopp. Their owner doesn't spend any more than our owner. Our owner actually spends more. It was Jurgen Klopp, because Jurgen Klopp came in from day one and said, listen, you lot aren't fit enough. You lot don't work hard enough. You lot haven't got a philosophy. This is my philosophy. This is how hard we're going to train. If you can't handle it, I'll move you on. And I'll start buying players that I know can handle it. And he cherry-picked players year after year. Wijnaldum, Robertson, Van Dijk, Alisson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Mane, Salah. Brought it all together and it exploded. This is what we need at Arsenal. We need a manager with a philosophy and a style and a plan that ain't going to put up with no crap. These are misbehaving kids in the classroom. They're misbehaving kids in the classroom at Arsenal. It's like when the supply teacher used to come into your school and nobody cared about him. No one respected him. People were throwing paper aeroplanes around. You're swinging on your chair. You know what I mean? You're chewing gum. You don't care. Oh, you're only here for a bit anyway. You're going to be gone tomorrow. I ain't listening to you. You can't give me detention. That's how these men are dealing with Arteta. They don't care. They're probably looking at Arteta and going, I had a bigger career than you, mate, as a player. And you ain't done nothing as a manager, so why am I going to listen to you? It happens. Footballers have massive egos. We know it, people, especially at that level of the game. This is the guy we got to go for, in my opinion. The Telegraph say, should Mikel Arteta fail to turn Arsenal's fortunes around, Arsenal are likely to make Antonio Conte their first choice to replace him. It's interesting that on Sky Bet, they're making Brendan Rodgers the favourite for the Arsenal job if Arteta goes, and Antonio Conte's second favourite. And actually, Eddie Howe is third favourite. Fran actually suggested Eddie Howe at the weekend. I said I wouldn't want nothing to do with it. But maybe that's the level we're actually... That's probably the reality. My expectation is Antonio Conte. The reality is probably Eddie Howe, knowing this Arsenal board and the way that they operate. Miles said, I'm a hardcore Spurs fan, but Curtis is my favourite YouTuber. Tells you about the quality of the guy. Hey, listen, I appreciate that, Miles, man. Paul said, spot on, Curtis. I agree. Conte in. Brilliant manager available. We will never have a better opportunity at getting a better manager in these next few years. David said, why aren't we considering Mancini the next best Italian gaffer after Allegri and Conte? I think Mancini already said that he doesn't want to leave until after the World Cup. You know, they've just won the Euros, Italy. I'm sure he'll want to lead them into the World Cup and try and win it. Broad said, Conte is the right man, not going to lie. Look at how he got a bunch of rejects to win the league in Italy. Bro, this guy, even in England, this guy won the title with Victor Moses at right wing back and Alonso left wing back. I remember when Arsenal played Chelsea at the Emirates and we absolutely bopped them under Conte. I think they were playing 4 at the back. We battered them and he changed after that. He said, listen, we're going 3 at the back, wing backs, and they blew the league apart. And he smashed it and won the title. Next year, won the FA Cup, they sacked him. Obviously, had a big fallout with Diego Costa. Went to Inter. Inter were in a bit of a mess at the time in Italy. Juventus dominating. You know, they had Cristiano Ronaldo. It looked impossible to bridge that gap. He's gone to Italy and look, taken over Juventus. And they don't even spend the kind of money that Juventus are spending. And they got Ronaldo and them, man. Canaris Gunnar said, we need the principle. I'm telling you, this is the principle. This is the principle, people. He ain't going to take no crap. Go and watch this guy and the way he talks in interviews. That's the reality, brother. I know what you're saying. I know. Fran was maybe right, you know. I want Conte, but we end up with Eddie Howe or Per Mertesacker, the under-23 coach. Robert said, big up Curtis. We should have gone for Dumfries from PSV. Great right back, interacted fast, got him for 15 million euros, typical Arsenal. Had a good Euros. Very good going forward. I was never too sure about him defensively, but definitely good going forward. Tucky says, no way Rodgers leaves Leicester. Now will be harder to get than Conte. I agree. I don't think we could get Brendan Rodgers because not only do you have to give him a massive contract, you've got to buy him out of his current contract. So let's say you might have to pay millions to get him out of that Leicester deal and then millions as a signing on fee. It's not going to happen. And they've got to pay off Arteta. They will only be looking for a manager that is out of work, in my opinion. Mania said, I think Arsenal is a money laundering for Kroenke. Oh, my days. I mean, listen, who knows? Wouldn't surprise me. You know, with all the Raul Sanelli antics and the brown envelopes and all that, who knows what goes off behind the scenes at Arsenal, man. It's definitely crazy. Conte might have Xhaka looking like a £50 million player. Hey, I said he was a good manager. I don't know if he's a magician. Roby said, as a Chelsea fan, you guys don't know what you're getting into if you guys sign Conte. You have to meet his demands or you feel what real hell feels like. Listen, we're already feeling the wrath of nature at the moment. We're second from bottom in the Premier League. If he comes in and starts rattling feathers and going wild, guess what? It's no worse than what we're going through right now, Roby. So I hear what you're saying. He's a demanding guy. He wants his demands to be met, and he will be difficult to get. Don't get me wrong. Right? They might not want to meet those demands, Arsenal. But it can't be any worse than what we're going through right now. We haven't scored in our first 2 games. We're joint bottom. It can't get worse. Klansman, big up with the super chat, said, bro, Kieran Trippier would be our best defensive signing since Thomas Vermaelen. I just regret we didn't sign Basuma and Benrahma on the cheap last season. I mean, definitely Basuma. Benrahma looks like he's having a better season. Looked good last night. I have to admit, Trippier, still not fully convinced whether he would be, but he's definitely better than the right backs we've got. I would just rather probably go with Ainsley or go and buy somebody else, you know. But it is what it is. Let's see if it happens. I have to admit, watching West Ham last night, and David Moyes is not a manager that I particularly rate. They look better than us. They look better than us. Antonio looks like a beast. You know, Benrahma's doing bits now. And then you've got, you know, I'm hearing Jesse Lingard. They think that deal's going to happen to West Ham, you know. And David Moyes is not even a top quality manager. And look at the style. Look at the philosophy. This is why I say there's no excuse at Arsenal. Yeah, we're not as good as Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Liverpool on paper. But our team on paper should be better than West Ham, should be as good as Leicester's. And teams like that, how come their philosophy style is so much better than ours? That's what we want. A serious guy who don't take nonsense, 100%. Christian said, have you heard Willian has terminated his contract? I haven't heard that yet, to be honest. I heard he's in talks. If he has terminated his contract, then, you know, we'll be throwing a party, man. I'm telling you, we'll be partying if we get him out of here. We keep beating up our players, but the fact is that the biggest problem is the coach. I think so. I think so. The coach is the biggest problem at the club right now. I think a better manager gets more out of these players. Hanzo's right. Southampton ran Man United close, looked good. Hassan, who was a good manager as well. N Easy said Big C, even Lampard could not get the older players to play. Look what happened after he was sacked. Started balling. It's all about the right manager and getting that reaction, from the players. So, yeah, Antonio, listen, we're being linked with him, but listen, it's a long shot. This is Arsenal Football Club. When do they ever sign the players that we truly want? When do they ever hire the manager that we truly want, So I won't get my hopes up. Will Zidane come to us? I don't think so. Now, I think that's a more difficult one than Antonio. Someone just said in the chat there, one of the Chelsea fans, apologies, I didn't read it out, said that Antonio would go to Arsenal just to spite Chelsea and the way they let him go. Because I think he was very unhappy with Chelsea. He looked at it like, I've come into your team that's just finished 10th under Mourinho that year after it all kind of went wrong. He wins the title and then wins the FA Cup the year after and they sack him. So I think he feels, listen, I've got some unfinished business, which is why I think he was willing to take the Tottenham job. But the circumstances were not right. He wasn't offered the amount of money he wanted, and he wasn't offered the staff members. But Curtis, it's the players. Listen, it's the manager, Kev. It's the manager. I need to get Kev back on, actually. I messaged him, so hopefully he'll be back on in the next few days. Zidane wouldn't even come to watch a game, brethren, let alone managers. Now, I think Zidane would reject us. That is one where I think he would say, nah, I'm not interested in that. Conte could be our biggest signing. I'd be excited. I'm telling you, that for me should be the marquee transfer, the manager. I think Arteta is the catalyst. He's doing so bad that it will force the club to get Conte. I really think you've got some truth in that. I think they will have to seriously look at it and think, okay, you let Wenger go, which I think was right. It was the right time. You went for Emery, who was an experienced manager with pedigree in the Europa League, which is why I think the football club went for him, because they felt he could win the Europa League at Arsenal. But with the communication and things like that, he really struggled. Should have got top 4, and it went downhill from there. You've then gone for Arteta, that we all know was a massive risk. A manager who's never managed. So you took the risk. It isn't working. If you then sack him, you can't surely say, let's get another okay manager with not huge pedigree, or let's get another former Arsenal player that's never managed and take another big risk. It's going to have to go full circle. You took that huge risk with Arteta. Now you've got to get the best manager that is available to the football club under the perimeters of what you can afford. As I said before, Conte's contract works out at £300,000 a week. We're paying Arteta at the moment £110,000 a week. If Willian leaves on his 170, you put that Willian money to Arteta, that gives you Antonio Conte. I would happily give up Mikel Arteta and Willian for Antonio Conte. So to me, that makes a lot of sense. I know it's not as easy as that, and I understand. But Antonio, he speaks English. He's won the league. He's aggressive. He won't take no crap in the dressing room. Serious. Broad said, as soon as the fans come back, it's like the board suddenly realize what's happening. 100%. 100%. Accountability is coming to the forefront real quick. You can't hide from the truth when there are fans there. We've had one home game in the Premier League, one, since lockdown has finished. The fans were surrounding Mikel Arteta's car outside the stadium. I don't condone this for a second, by the way. I do not condone this. The fans were surrounding Mikel Arteta's car outside the stadium saying, do yourself a favor, leave the club, we want you out. They were delaying him. The security guards were moving people out of the road to let the manager drive out of the stadium. One game. One league game. And they're surrounding your car. Edu, inside the stadium, this fan shouting abuse at him inside the stadium while he's sitting in his corporate seats. So the guy saying, what's this? Look at the team you've built. Look at the signings. One game. Imagine when we lose another 2, 3, 4 games. It's going to be unbearable. The Emirates is going to be toxic. I tell you that much. Curtis says, Arsenal's accountant. Hey, if only. Clansman said, I'm in for Steven Gerrard. I think Gerrard's doing a fantastic job at Rangers. To me, he's just Liverpool. He's Liverpool. He's waiting for Klopp to go and get that Liverpool job. I wouldn't take Gerrard at Arsenal. I think he's too emotionally attached to Liverpool to come and take over at Arsenal. He doesn't play great football either, to be honest. We can get Conte. He was willing to join Spurs 100%. Money talks, people. Money talks. Money talks. Dirty cash, I want you. Dirty cash, I need you more. Come on, Dizzy Rascal settings, people. Get them brown envelopes out. Where's Raul when you need him, man? Drop that envelope on Conte's lap. Listen, bro, there you go. There's the bag. And there's the contract. Come here and handle business. Yeah? Put enough money in that envelope. He's coming, people. There's your 7 members of staff that you need. There's your 15 million a season. Go to work. Go to work, my friend. That's what I want to see. One Love Arsenal said, as much as I want us to win, I will take straight L's if it forces Arteta out and Conte in. Bring on the L's, yo. Listen, I don't want to say it, but I hear you. I can't lie. But yeah, listen, I don't ever want the team to lose. But I want the manager gone. I just think we need a better manager to get back to where we need to be. John Sylvester, blessings, Big C. If Arsenal don't get Conte, it will show further that the club is dead and no ambition whatsoever. You will see further where it's heading. Subscribe, people. Big up, bro. Appreciate the support. Minia said, I want Zidane as a player. He's probably better than Xhaka, let's be honest. If Arsenal let Arteta go and don't get Conte, and we end up with some mid-table, manager that we don't want, that will tell you that we're finished. That this board are not ever going to try and make this a good football club. So that will be their one opportunity if they want to be serious and say, look, we are trying to show some ambition. Matt Hennessy says, big up Curtis, imagine the difference if Conte come in. Bro, honestly, can you imagine the discipline, the standards of that guy? Winning titles with Moses and Alonso. Get him in, please. DJ Curtis Shaw, bro, I have to lighten up the mood a little bit. Can't be all doom and gloom Arsenal, It's not so bad, people. It's not so bad. Auto-tune needed. Yeah. Get me in the studio, man. I need some of that auto-tune, that T-Pain auto-tune from back of the day. Man made himself a millionaire off auto-tune, T-Pain. You know what I mean? When auto-tune got scrapped, he was finished. Northerner Gerrard will get all the... I said, he won't mess about, that's for sure. Love the content, Big C. Greetings from Zandam. Big up. Forget Dizzy. It's all about the original Money Talks. His was just a cover. Yeah, I'm a little younger. I was on the Dizzy Rascal version, not so much the original. They want yes men. Conte is the polar opposite. But if they want success, if they want money, yes man ain't going to get you there. What manager in the Premier League right now is a yes man that's successful? Tuchel ain't a yes man. That's why he had fallouts at PSG. And Klopp and Pep, I mean, they don't need no explanation. You're selling me hopes and dreams with this Conte talk. Do you know what, Oz? I don't want anyone to think I'm saying, listen, when Arteta goes, we're getting Conte. It's nailed on, sir. We're getting it. This is Arsenal Football Club. This is Stan Kroenke. He might happily go and get Eddie Howe. He might get somebody completely, that we're not expecting, that we won't be happy with. But we have to hope that he goes for a big boy. Big up Darren, he said, voted for Curtis Shaw TV on the Football Content Awards 2021. Get voting, people. It takes 2 minutes. Big up Darren, really appreciate that. And over 2,100 people in here. Really appreciate your support. Subscribe to the channel, people. Let's get to 35k real quick and then onwards and upwards from there. And smash a like on the video. Let's get past 1,000. D. Guna said, big up Curtis, post ACL. Twisted my knee last night after some futsal. Chilling in bed with your stream on your hard days. Take it easy, bro. Them knee injuries are very, very tricky, man. When you've had that injury, And touch wood, I'm quite lucky. The only knee injury I've had is my medials. I was out for about 6 weeks, but you have to strengthen that knee properly. You know, a lot of players have those sorts of injuries, come back and it recurs, or they have different knee injuries. You have to get that strength back in the knee in the gym first, you know, before you start playing again. Curtis, do the Kroenkes not realize that if we are more successful, they will make more money? Sponsor, shirt sales, Champions League, all means money. They will benefit from success on the pitch, 100%. Most successful businesses take investment. You have to invest to get return. He can't sit there and do nothing. Now, he's invested more than any manager in the Prem this summer. So whatever I think of Stan Kroenke, and you guys know what I think we need better, more ambitious, more caring owners. But while he's in charge, he can turn around this summer and say, I've backed that manager and he's failing. Or if those players are not good enough, that's down to him. So you're right. If he puts money in, the sponsors go up, the shirt sales go up. They can't be selling many shirts with names on the back at the moment. Whose name would you put on the back of an Arsenal shirt right now? So I don't know. Conte is the manager we deserved after missing out on Mourinho. Listen, I said it at the time. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was right. I don't know. When Emery left, I believe we should have got Jose because of the same reason. These teams, these players do not listen. They need discipline. I don't think Mourinho is the manager he used to be. So in that sense, I kind of hear why people didn't want him. So I'll accept that one if that was an L. Even though I still think he would have done better than what Arteta's doing. That's for certain. But Conte is different. Conte is top 5 managers in world football, in my opinion. He's an absolute beast of a manager. 2,000 people, only 400 likes. Nah, listen, smash them likes up, people. Let's hit 1,000. Shadman said, big up Curtis, browsing for a Corinthian shirt with Willian written on the back. If he makes the move, this will be the biggest assist for Arsenal. You know what? You lead me in nicely there. Let's talk about him. Will Jones says, ruptured my ACL and broke my femur in Sunday League when I was 15. Haven't gotten back to football since. And I'm 20 in 3 days. The knee is a game changer. What I will say to you is this, Will. I know a lot of players that have had those injuries. And obviously, it's difficult if you're not getting specialist treatment, which is obviously very expensive. Sometimes the recovery process isn't great. Players can come back. I'm sure it's not impossible for you to play football again, but you need the right care, the right physio to help you with that recovery and a plan in place, because you've almost got to rebuild your knee. So, I mean, you're 20 in 3 days. You've still got a chance. I know people that have had that injury and come back. So, but yeah, the recovery has to be spot on. So get well soon anyway. Let's talk about Willian. I think we signed Will.i.am, the singer, rather than Willian, because I don't know what the hell happened to this guy once he signed for Arsenal. But Fabrizio Romano, Corinthians' proposal for Willian is on the table since yesterday. Contract offered until 2023 or 24. Talks ongoing on the salary situation, as Arsenal are prepared to let Willian leave on a free. Willian's priority is for a European club, but Corinthians are confident. Yes, finally, something good for us to celebrate. We can't take no more of this. We're second from bottom. We need something to make us smile. Please, the only thing that's negative about this whole thing, Willian's priority is Europe. Listen, Willian, forget it. Get yourself out of here. Go back to Brazil. Your restaurant's over here. Get someone to manage it. Just leave it now. We can't take much more of this. We need you to move, my bro. Serious. He can't come back to play for Arsenal. This guy was liking Instagram posts from Chelsea, from Lukaku, saying, just beat Arsenal. This guy's liking it. He can't come back to the Emirates. He's going to be poisonous. He has to leave. Klansman said, don't you think that we need an experienced centre-back, strong physically alongside Ben White? I think Gabriel is below average. Someone like Tarkowski or Dunk. Time will tell whether that partnership can work. Listen, one thing I have to say, man said, will he ever? One thing I have to say, right, is that you do also have to ask the question, how did Willian become so bad so quick? It's a genuine question because on one hand, we're all just going, Willian, he's rubbish, he's crap, get him out, he's garbage. But on the other hand, you've got to look at it and go, the season before this guy joined Arsenal, 9 goals, 7 assists, 16 goal contribution at Chelsea the year before. He was still in the Brazilian squad. He's never touched the Brazilian squad since he's been at Arsenal. They basically retired him the day he signed for Arsenal. How, like, as much as I think Willian is washed up and we need to get rid of him, what the hell happened to him? How did he go so bad so quick? I remember the first game against Fulham, couple of assists. I said, yo, this still looks like Willian from last season. I don't mind this on a free. And since then, the man has just disappeared. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know if he's been in his own restaurant, just having 3-course dinners every night and he can't be bothered. Ben, I think you're right. That Arteta tax weighs heavy on you people. That Arteta tax weighs heavy. He looks like he cannot play football. This is a guy with, I believe, let me double check. How many caps has this guy got for Brazil? Must be over 50 caps for Brazil. And yet this guy can't do anything for this team. Nothing. 50 caps or something for Brazil, this guy's got. 33 years of age. Arteta tax weighs heavy, people. Man saying steak. He's been having them big steaks in his restaurant. Nothing personal against Willian, but he will surely go down as one of our worst ever signings. Benefited nobody except Chelsea. Bro, he is the most expensive free transfer in the history of Premier League football. He was free and he was too expensive. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we know in football there is no such thing as a free transfer. You may not pay a transfer fee, but he would have got a hefty signing on fee. His agent would have got weighed in. He got 170 grand a week. There is no such thing as a free transfer in football. But damn, what happened? How did this guy go from 9 goals, 7 assists? He played 36 Premier League games for Chelsea the year before. He was one of their best players. I regularly used to see this guy hit the touchline, whip it in, Giroud, Tammy Abraham, getting on the end of it, goal. He comes to Arsenal, and all of a sudden, he cannot shoot, he cannot cross, he can't run. In pre-season, he looked like, I mean, I don't want to do him a disservice because apparently, he was wearing the vest and the vest slipped down to the belly, but he looked like he gave up. I kind of feel like Chelsea just said, listen, we're going to send you to Arsenal to sabotage. We're going to pretend we're offering you a 2-year deal and Arsenal will come running in with a 3-year deal. Arteta out now, don't wait. Big up Tipper, I hope you're well, my bro. Tens TV said Willian has 70 caps for Brazil. Bro, I remember how many times, people, let's have it right here. How many summers did we see Willian at Chelsea and Barcelona are making an offer for him? I swear it was 2 or 3 years in a row. Chelsea reject 50 million from Barcelona, 55 million. I think when Jose was there, he tried to buy him for Man United. Willian was a highly rated player in football. Willie Ham. Yo, man like Willie Ham, I don't know what's going on. He's finished. It was sabotage. I think Frank set us up. Frank was pretending he didn't. Oh, yeah, we offered him 2 years. I don't think he offered him anything. Willian went from uncle to Auntie Wilma in one summer. He downed tools real quick. Real quick, he downed tools. And, crazy. Absolute. This got to go down as one of the worst signings in Arsenal history. It's been an absolute nightmare signing. To me, the whole time he's been at Arsenal, I just seen a guy that basically looks like he wants to be at Chelsea the whole time. He doesn't want to be at Arsenal. He didn't even suit our red kit. When I looked at him, it just looked like he should be in blue. And it's been a horrendous signing. And now Imagine signing him, giving him that big signing on fee, and a year later, they're probably going to have to write a check and pay him off. You know, terrible, terrible business. And again, Edu. What was Edu saying? Give him time. He's a quality player. That's why we give him 3 years. Remember when Edu was telling us to be patient? Remember when Willian was saying, I've come here to win the Champions League? Crazy. A lot of you in the comments talking about our, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it and I'm not liking it, people. I'm going to share screen. Where is it? Have I come off it? Oh, no. I'm telling you now, if this happens and we don't make a move for him, I'm going to be ranting and raving. I'm sorry. Dharmesh Chef reporting Tottenham are interested in signing Lyon attacking midfielder Hussam Aouar. Informal talks held with the players' representatives. Aouar has 2 years left on his contract and will weigh all options, likely to have more interested parties next summer. Listen to me, please. Listen. I'm not saying Aouar is the answer to all of our problems. I'm not. He isn't the answer to everything, but he helps. Now, last summer, they were saying he was the number one target. We wanted him more than Thomas Partey. He was 50 million last summer. He's now 25 million. He scored 7 goals last year, which ain't bad for a centre mid. He's not an attacking like a Cam, a number 10. 7 goals ain't bad. And now we're being stumped by Tottenham. We're sitting on our hands again. What is going on at Arsenal Football Club? Tottenham have built a stadium that cost an absolute fortune, and Tottenham apparently are in talks to sign Aouar, and they're in talks to sign Adama Traore. Now, I'm not saying Adama Traore is a world beater. I'm not saying he's somebody we should be looking at. But what I'm telling you, he's an absolute problem. And we haven't got many problems in our attack right now. If they pull out Adama Traore and Aouar, I think they'll be pretty happy with that, even if you use Traore as an impact player and Aouar as a creative midfielder. People saying this is probably because Kane's going to City. Possibly. But they're saying Aouar will be a replacement for Ndombele, who looks like he's on his way out. I'm sorry, Arsenal. How on earth was this Mikel Arteta's top target last season for £50 million? 12 months later, he's 25 million and you're not interested. Oh, no, don't rate him. Don't rate him anymore. What? Has Granit Xhaka blocked him coming in because of that new contract? Surely. He's got 2 years left. He's 25 million. I think we could be blacklisted with these French players. I'm being serious. He plays for France under 21s, Guendouzi, Saliba. They're not going to big up Arteta. He's going to ring them. Yo, what's it like at Arsenal? What's Guendouzi going to say to him? Yo, run away. Hang the phone up and run away from Arsenal. Don't go there. This guy's a control freak of a manager. He plays terrible football. They ain't going to give him no props. We had the French market on lock under Arsene Wenger. I think that French market will be slipping away. Curtis, I said to you the other day this would happen because we took too long messing about and we're going to fall behind them even further now. What a joke, Arsenal. And we're linked to their old right back. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Do you know what I'm saying, Ryan? Think about that. We're out here taking their ugly ex-girlfriend while they're looking at supermodels. What's going on? We're out here looking at Trippier. That's like them signing Debussy, our old right back. What's going on? It is crazy, people. We are like the French market. I'm telling you, these young French Donnies won't want to come here. They won't want to come here. Spurs rejects. And these men are looking at people who was our top target. If this deal happens, I'm not going to lie. I won't be happy. 25 million. That is a player we should be absolutely all over. Creative midfielder. We haven't got it. Man like Debussy, Man don't even remember them players hardly, innit? Matteo Debuchy, you know. Another player that we bought for money who left for nothing again. He wasn't bad until he got injured. I think he broke his foot, didn't he? Legit forgot he even exists. Big up School Fuggery. I hope you're well, bro. It never ends. Terrible in the market. It's wild. Absolutely wild. 25 million for Ramsdale. Just don't do it. Arsenal love the ones that have been around the block. I'm telling you, man, it's mad. Over 2,000 of you in here, nearly 2,500 of you in here. Make sure you subscribe, people. Like the video as well. And get voting as well. Football Content Awards. Link is in the description. And all the details are down there. Let's move on. I mean, maybe a big part of the reason we're not going for Houssam Aouar is because this has happened. And do you know what I find crazy about this? When do Arsenal announce a new deal and not put out some big social media picture announcement? When Smith Rowe, you had all this video, number 10, Saka was in the number 7, blah, blah, blah. Arsenal didn't even announce this. They put in the program notes and they did a write-up, an interview with Granit Xhaka, and somewhere on about the second paragraph it said, Granit, who has signed his new contract with the club, has been at the club for 5 years now. They didn't even announce it. Granit Xhaka basically announced it himself. The guy next to him is his agent. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe that's the new right-back we're signing. He's about as old as Kieran Trippier, so yeah. But yeah, this is Granit Xhaka and his agent. And Granit, with his lovely smile on his face, has said on Instagram, this is what he wrote. He put, "Home is where the heart is. Really proud to extend my stay at Arsenal," with the handshake. I mean, I think maybe he meant to put Rome is where the heart is, because it seems to me, the way you was flirting with Mourinho the whole summer, that Rome was your actual home. He was saying Rome is a beautiful city. It's a language that I can learn. Mourinho is a world-class manager and it's a league that is very good and blah, blah, blah. So are you sure that this is your home? Because I thought Rome was going to be your home. But okay, no, that didn't happen. Forget it. So what you're telling me, let me just get this right, people. We sign you instead of N'Golo Kante. Okay, that's one thing. But we haven't seen how good you are. So we'll give it a chance. And maybe N'Golo Kante can only thrive in that Leicester City team. N'Golo Kante goes to Chelsea, wins the title again, best box-to-box midfielder in the Premier League. Now I'm starting to panic. Then he goes and wins the World Cup with France, makes Pogba look like one of the best midfielders in the world. Okay, he really is the real deal, N'Golo Kante. Now we'll rewind back to Granit Xhaka. Let's see how his journey goes on. Maybe he's going to have a great career at Arsenal. No, it gets worse. He's fouling everyone. He's losing the ball. The league's too quick for him. 43 yellow cards in 5 seasons. We've never touched Champions League since we signed him. Flirts with Rome the whole summer. They don't want to pay no money for him because they don't rate him. So because we can't sell him, we give him a new 4-year contract with a pay rise. By the time that contract finishes, he's 4 weeks away from a testimonial. We are probably going to see a Granit Xhaka testimonial at Arsenal. Granit Xhaka. And now, I don't know about you, I will not be doing a watch-along for that game. Let me tell you that. I will not be doing anything to do with that game. I will not be involved in it when that actually happens. Demir said, Arsene Wenger has spent the day at Liverpool's AXA training centre. Come on, man, when it rains, it pours. He probably wants to go and see some success and go and speak to Klopp about football, you know. Appreciate your super chat, bro. Jeffrey said he's taking the mick out of you lot. Money is where the heart is. I'm telling you. I know this, Jeff. I know this. What was the worst situation? 3 scenarios. 2 years left on his deal. Keep him as a squad player. Sell him to Roma for 15 million euros. Or extend his contract to protect his value. The value that doesn't exist, by the way. A player is only as valuable as what the market tells you. We put Xhaka on the market. One club came in for him. They said 15 million euros or we walk away. So if Arsenal think he's worth 20, the market has just told you he's worth 15. No matter what you think in your head, he's worth 15. To me, selling him for 15 and letting him carry on with 2 years left on his contract, they were better options than doing this. This is embarrassing. Other clubs are actually laughing at Arsenal for this. This is a shambles. You cannot be a big football club if you reward failure. You can't reward failure. You just can't. You just can't. 120 grand a week for 4 years, 24.9 million pounds. That contract will cost Arsenal. He will not leave this football club until that contract expires. He cannot go anywhere and get that kind of wage. So anybody that thinks, oh, we gave him 4 years, maybe we'll sell him in a year and make more money. No, we won't. He ain't going nowhere. He's going to see out this contract because no one's going to give him 120. We couldn't sell him with 2 years left on 100. So how do we sell him with 4 years left on 120? He turns 29 next month. If Granit Xhaka hasn't been good enough from the age of 25 to 30, what's he going to be like at 32 and 33? Your mama said people really think we're getting Conte. He'd have Vinay in a full Nelson 5 minutes into the meeting for wasting his time. Them man would have to go, I'm telling you. Man like Vinay would have to move out the way if Conte's coming in. Them man would have to go back in the office and do admin work. Just go in the back and just type something up. Don't get involved in this. I think this. I can't believe this isn't being made a bigger deal of. I am actually disgusted as an Arsenal fan that this has been allowed to happen. You know, this guy doesn't listen. He threw the armband down and stuck his finger up at the fans. I think that is a disgrace, but it's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world if you're a top player and you apologize. He gave out some flimsy little half-hearted apology. Okay, he'd been getting some terrible abuse on social media, and not for 1 second do I condone that kind of disgraceful behavior. But what I cannot accept is you undermining the fans by saying that Arsenal know what I want to do. Rome is a beautiful city. Jose Mourinho is one of the world's best managers. It would be a privilege for anybody to play for him. That is rubbing salt into the very open wound that most Arsenal fans are feeling right now. And then I'm supposed to look at this picture and feel some sort of joy because you've signed a new 4-year contract that the football club don't even want to announce publicly because they know there's going to be a backlash. They know they've done something wrong. It's like going in your mum's purse and taking £2 out. I mean, it's good to have that £2, but you know it was wrong. You should have waited for her to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? This is what Arsenal have done right now. They're misbehaving. Tim said, I understand your reaction, but look at it like this. The contract extension and a half-decent season might mean we get 20 million. Never in a million years, Tim. In my opinion. I respect your opinion. I will not say you're wrong. I just believe at 28, he had a half-decent season, good Euros, couldn't get 20. We ain't getting 20 for him next year. But you never know. Stranger things have happened, but I don't see it. Charles said, biggest issue is not ditching the deadwood, including the manager. We should be ready to cancel contracts if we have to. It puts pressure on players and staff to deliver 100%. 100%. No pressure on these guys. Failure is accepted. If failure is accepted, how are you supposed to achieve success when they know they can get away with failure? And failure is easier than success. Let's be honest, people. Curtis, a great analogy. I'm telling you, these man are sneaking downstairs. Nicholas said, but Curtis, I need the £2. You might need the £2. We don't need the Granit Xhaka, though. We could have moved on from that. Should have got a tenner. I'm telling you, man. Why is Alexis Sanchez in the background? You know what? Let me take off Granit Xhaka. Get him off the screen. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know what? I told you, people, this is History Channel settings right now. You know? We are not. We're not in the current state. I can't turn on Sky Sports News and get some quality Arsenal coverage. They're going to show Arsenal losing their last game. So I have to turn it to the History Channel to remind you of quality players, quality times. And let's face it, this guy was a legendary player. I wouldn't say he's an Arsenal legend because he snaked us. But he is the last, what I would say, as you're saying here, he is the last world-class player I think we've had at this football club. Like absolutely world-class. Aubameyang had spells where he looked like a world-class goal scorer, but in terms of world-class footballer, this is the last one. And look, we had Champions League them times. I haven't seen Arsenal in the Champions League for how long? I just don't know. I was talking about the £2, a great analogy. Oh, man. Just looking at his face makes me angry. I know, but listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. Big up Curtis, love the show. Big up Rico. History Channel, a bunch of World War II documentaries. That's how we're moving. That's how we have to move right now. I'll tell my kids Arsenal folded in 2006. It probably makes sense. Arsenal? Nah, they folded, mate. There's something else now. I think they turned to Arsenal Fashion Club in 2007, you know. They make wavy kits, but not great teams. Granite the GOAT. I mean, he plays like a GOAT. I don't mean a GOAT footballer. I mean an actual GOAT animal, you know. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. The minute a teammate says, I want to win too much, I'm out. There you go. And that same guy's still at the club. Big up Big C. Really appreciate the therapy. If we don't laugh, we'll cry. That's it. That's why I crack jokes sometimes, because what's the point? Don't let this team drag your mood down. You know, we're used to it now, people. Unfortunately, we're getting used to the failure. And that's the saddest thing about the football club. If Alexis is an Arsenal legend, so is Anelka. No, I don't think Alexis is a legend. I think he is, like I said, I think he's the best player, the last best player that we had, the last world-class player. Off topic, what do you think? Yeah, in it, they became a fashion club after. I'm telling you. Man said an actual goat. I'm telling you, Granite, he ain't the goat. He's a goat. Literally a goat. Granit Xhaka. Yo, I'm telling you, get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. Anyway, let's move on, people. What else is going on in the world of Arsenal? Is the final bit of transfer news actually is another player that is on his way out. And that is Lucas Torreira. Lucas Torreira is on his way to Fiorentina on loan. I think we all know Torreira was on his way out of here, and it looks like he's going to happen. He tweeted a picture of him on a plane. Man said, don't disrespect goats. I'm telling you, I probably need to respect the animals more than Granite. But here's the news. Lucas Torreira has agreed personal terms with Fiorentina. Arsenal and Fiorentina have agreed a deal in principle on a one-year loan, with the two clubs still negotiating on whether it will be an option to buy or an obligation to buy at £15 million included in the deal. If it's an option to buy, it's a shambles again. It's a shambles. Because Fiorentina can say in 12 months' time, nah, we'll leave it. Go back to Arsenal. We don't want you. That doesn't help Arsenal at all. Maybe you get his wages off the books for 12 months, but he should be a good enough player that you're able to sell him. Surely you can pick up 15 million for Lucas Torreira. Yeah, I hear you, Ryan. You have to question that. Torreira leaves, Joe Willett leaves, Guendouzi leaves, Mohamed Elneny stays. How? He's the worst out of all four of them, by far, in my opinion. But he stays. There has to be an obligation. I really hope so. The reports yesterday were saying they thought there was an obligation. But the Bell and even Fabrizio is now saying they're still discussing that. If I agree, Anderson, if it's option, we riot. Listen, we don't know how to protest or riot, unfortunately. You should say if it's an option, we'll have an R&B concert outside the stadium, but they'll be dancing in the rain, mate. Not quite rioting, but I hear you. I like the thought process. Torreira under Conte. I'm telling you, that's the kind of player. Run through them brick walls. Do you know what I'm saying? What's Conte gonna think when he sees man like El Neni, bruv, like and Bellerin doing foul throws? Conte will grab him by the neck and lift him up. You can't even throw a ball. That's when the Italian mafia settings. Then man will just disappear. You'll go, yo, how come Bellerin and El Neni haven't played for Arsenal for like 6 months? We haven't even seen them in training. Then man will get good fellas, mate, and just get them out of it. You know what I mean? Get Robert De Niro and just get rid of them, man. Yeah, you're right, people. El Neni he could potentially get that testimonial if he gets another contract, which is another scary thought. Can you imagine El Neni and Xhaka having testimonials at Arsenal? Lucas Torreira's 25. 25 as well, you know. It's a shame because I just think he wants out of England. It's like he's never really settled in England. He's constantly said he wants to go back to Italy, but it's a shame because he's definitely better than El Neni. And like I said, Torreira, Willock, Guendouzi, go. But we keep El Neni and give Granit Xhaka a 4-year contract. I mean, something's not right here, surely. They're potentially 2 of the worst out of those 5. I don't know, people. I don't know. I will not be doing any watch-alongs, that's for certain, for any Mohamed El Neni or Granit Xhaka testimonial. When I was younger, people like Tony Adams had testimonials, legends, icons. Now Mohamed El Neni and Granit Xhaka. Big up Guna Gossip TV, Curtis. Robert said El Neni stays because he's a nice guy. Exactly. You know, these guys, they trust the process. They will listen to this manager and run through brick walls for him. And when you seem to have a little bit of an attitude or a little bit of an ego, this manager wants you out, unfortunately. Episode 3 in the Amazon Arsenal documentary, finally learning how to shoot. Can you imagine? I tell you one thing, we are going to have the biggest Amazon documentary that you have ever seen in football history. It is going to break records. I'm probably going to do watch-alongs to each episode. And I'm going to have to keep pausing it and discussing it. They are going to be record-breaking. The Manchester City one was interesting. But it wasn't that exciting because 9 weeks out of 10, they won the game. So it was win, 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 win. It was a bit boring. It was just good to see Pep's philosophy. The Tottenham one was entertaining because they were losing. Mourinho was having meltdowns, the Danny Rose arguments. That was entertaining. Ours is going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. What is Arteta going to be saying in the press conference, in the changing rooms at half time for the team talks? You're gonna be in shock at the things that you're hearing. Just please, I'm asking for one thing. I pay for Amazon, right? So I expect one thing out of Amazon. All I want from Amazon, find out what he's listening to in the AirPods. That's all I want to know. Out of the whole episode, I want them to say, please listen, I've never seen a coach sit on the touchline with AirPods in. What are you listening to? That's all I want to know out of the whole series. Yeah, that's all we want, Amazon. Tell us, what is he listening to? The watch-alongs are going to be fire, I'm telling you, because I reckon usually they put them on in the evening, so they'll be late night, mate. It'll be going off. It will be going off. I can't wait, but I just hope we're not an embarrassment, which we could be. I have to admit, it could be Comedy Central settings, man. You know what I mean? It is going to be a shambles. We can admit it's going to be crazy, but it will be funny. The AirPods are as arrogant as Arteta. Episode 13, Arsenal finally up and running with a draw. Arsenal get a point at home to Norwich. You know what I mean? Conte in chance. Oh, it needs to be. Imagine though. Just imagine how great it would be if you get through a few episodes. No disrespect, because I don't want anyone to lose their job, but I'm thinking for the best of Arsenal. Just imagine you're 2 or 3 episodes in, Arteta gets moved on, and Antonio Conte turns up. Yo, I'll be going crazy. Like, that's when you'll see some proper TV. And he will be going crazy at these players. You can imagine. He won't be accepting anything from these lot. But yeah, man, that's going to be epic. Episode 5 in the Amazon documentary. Arteta has been sacked. What's next? The drama continues. You can see it. You can see it. Episode 14, no more process. Yeah, the process ends. Episode 10, Conte arrives. Conte season finale. Yo, I'm telling you. Although we'll need him a bit earlier than that. But yeah, I hear you. Conte is not the answer. If he's not the answer, I want to know what the question is. Right? If he's not the answer, then tell me what the question is. That's what I want to know. Because I think he is the answer. If he's not the answer, tell me who you think the answer is, people. I'm always willing to listen. Would you want Brendan Rodgers? I think he could be even harder to get. Conte demands action. The board doesn't want that. Listen, the only thing that will hurt is the loss of money, people. The loss of the money will hurt the football club. And I just think if they have to sack another manager in that quicker turnaround after sacking Emery, I think they're going to have to change completely their whole philosophy. They can't keep going for these cheaper options, which they have been doing. Like I said, you buy cheap, you buy twice, people. And I think that's what Arsenal have been doing. They're buying cheap and they're paying the price for it. Before we wrap up, people, we're going to do a little look ahead to the game tomorrow. Obviously, Carabao Cup, a trophy that we haven't won for a long, long time. And we play West Brom. West Brom tomorrow. We'll have a watch along for that, people. Although I've just realized that the game isn't actually on TV. But, you know, there are ways, of course, of finding these games. So I'm sure we can find it. But we will be doing the watch along. Rabadam said, yep, Conte, yeah, the board doesn't want that. Jeffrey said, laughing my arse off. If he's not the answer, what's the question? You're on fire. Bro, that's what I want to know. If he ain't the answer, what's the question? Tell me. Oh, is it on Sky? Oh, it's on Sky, people. I didn't even realize. There you go. Save me some hassle because I was actually checking what channel the game was on. I couldn't see it. So the game is on Sky tomorrow. I'm just checking. What time is the actual kick? 8 o'clock. All right. Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow for that. So it's on Sky. That saves me having to scroll through the internet trying to find it. But we're looking ahead to the game tomorrow. So let's look at some of the team news. Obviously, Arsenal have announced an injury update. As we can see here, Hector Bellerin. Hector was unavailable for Sunday's match with a tight thigh. Hector is back in training and being assessed. He could be available for Wednesday. I mean, is that good news or not? I don't even know. Because I don't know if we want him to play. Lacazette. Alex is now back in full training after testing positive for COVID-19 and has returned to full training ahead of Wednesday's match. Good news. Good news. We need Lacazette back, let's be honest. Or they may end up selling him. The interesting thing is, this is probably going to be a hard game for Arsenal. I can't honestly say with confidence that we win this game, and certainly not easily, because he will make changes, Arteta, and this is going to be a streetwise championship team that will understand how to win this kind of game. So it's going to be difficult. Apparently, Laka was at the Chelsea game. Yeah, he was. He was mobbed as he arrived. Klansman said the answer is a goal-scoring machine like Haaland. Sell the Deadwood. Even Big Sam will do the job. Man like Big Sam, you know. The rest of the team news. Gabriel Magalhaes, right knee. Gabriel sustained an injury to his right knee with the Brazilian Olympic squad. He's progressing well, and he's now back in training with the squad, although I hear he will not be available for Wednesday. But he is back in training. That is good news. We need him. So Lacazette and probably Bellerin. Eddie Nketiah sustained bruising to his right ankle. Eddie is working hard, expected to be back in early September. Will he still be an Arsenal player, or will they celebrate him? Will they sell him, should I say? Before the window closes. Martin Odegaard has now received full clearance to play and is available for selection, so that's good news. Thomas Partey sustained a right ankle injury to his ligaments. by the end of August, they expect him to be back. So we'll be back after the international break. And Alex Renarson is back in full training after COVID. We need to sell him anyway. He's, we know the level that he's at. So, yes, these are, so I mean, got me saying celebrate him, sell him more like. We can't be celebrating Eddie, man. Ring him and get him out. So we're going to have Lacazette, Odegaard, and probably Bellerin back. So we're just quickly going to pick a team that we think we should pick. Let me know in the comments, people. We'll pick a team that we hope can beat West Brom. And what I'm saying to Mikel Arteta, when you are under pressure, what he does not need tomorrow is a defeat against a championship team. If he thinks he's under pressure now, you do not want to go and lose to West Brom when you've got Manchester City at the weekend. Theo said, I'm seeing fans don't want us to win. Nah, listen, we need to win. I hear and I understand what people are saying, but, we have to win. We have to win the game. It won't do us any good. We have to stay in these cup competitions. Right, so we're going to draw up a team. Aaron Ramsdale, make your debut. No need to play Leno. Renarson is Renarson. So we don't need him. So Aaron Ramsdale makes his debut. Hopefully has a good game, keeps a clean sheet. Right back, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Forget Bellerin. Forget Cedric. Forget Callum Chambers. Chambers is a centre-back. Bellerin ain't good enough. We need to sell him. And who's the other guy I just mentioned? Cedric. Cedric is not the answer either. Big up Troy, who's just become a member on the channel. Really appreciate your support. Look out for the upcoming members content. Really appreciate that, Troy. Ainsley at right back. Left back. Woof, woof. Who let the dogs out? Ooh, who. Get him in there. Get him in there. Nuno. The best Nuno in London, they said. Better than Nuno Espirito Santo. Let's get this dog barking, mate. Let's take him out for a walk around West Brom's ground. Nuno Tavares. Snoopy Tavares. Let's get him in there. And let's see what he's about. He's looked all right when he's played in pre-season. You know what I mean? Got pace, got power. Don't know how good he is defensively. I got to be totally honest, but this is where you throw him in. This will be a tricky game. Championship team who are flying at the moment. And chuck him in there. No point playing Tierney. Tierney's made of glass, mate. He'll melt on the pitch. Let's see what kind of pedigree this let's see what kind of pedigree this left back has got, mate. Bow, wow, yippee-yo, yippee-yay. Let's go. Nuno Tavares. Centre back. I don't know who I would go with here. Well, obviously Gabriel's not fit, so Ben White's not fit. You've really got two out of Chambers, Holding, and Pablo Mari. I would go with the two English boys because I think Pablo Mari's going to need some time out after what happened to him on the weekend, mate. He got roasted. I think he needs some time away from football. You need to give him a week off. Go and give him a holiday, go back to Spain, take some time. You don't need another game where someone's bullying you, man. I think some wounds were opened on Sunday by Romelu Lukaku. So we'll go for Bolden and Chambers. People saying Rekic, he looks quite good, the young lad, but I think this could be a difficult game for him to come into. Stick David Luiz in there. Listen, David Luiz would have actually been better than Pablo Mari and Rob Holding on Sunday because he knows about the dark arts. He would have been putting some dirty challenges in on Lukaku. He might have got sent off, but, I mean, to be fair, they both like to play on the right. Probably Chambers would more be on the right. Good spot there. Aziz, possibly. But let's go through it. Let's keep going through it. What I'm trying to bear in mind here is we can't lose this game. We cannot lose this game. So I don't know if I'm going Aziz. Aziz played last week when they got slapped up against West Ham. But I would like to see a few youngsters in there. So I think we're going to have to go Sambi again, which is a shame because I would have liked to have just kept him fresh for Manchester City. But I don't know if we can get away with it. Our squad is thin. You're right. We've got injury problems. Who do I play next to him? Do you gamble and go for Aziz? But that's a very inexperienced midfield if you play Aziz. Do you play El Neni or do you play Xhaka? People saying Sambi needs a rest. He's young, man. I feel like he'll be all right. International break after as well. I don't think he gets in the Belgium squad. Do we gamble with Aziz? It can't be no worse than what we're seeing. Let's just go soft on it. Antonio better threat. It will be El Neni. Let Granit earn his money. Rest Sambi. El Neni and Xhaka. Realistically, he's going to play one of the experienced players. I'm just going to play Granit. I'm going to play Granit. El Neni's even worse. And Aziz is a risk in a championship game. Aziz and Lokonga could get absolutely bullied, in my opinion, against the championship side. In the number 10, make your debut, mate, as a new player. This will be a tricky game, man. You know, it's not an easy place to go and play West Brom. They'll sell it out. It's a noisy ground as well. They'll be physical. They'll make life difficult. This is the type of game that might not suit the likes of Odegaard. But listen, we paid 30 million for him. He's got to earn his bread. Got to earn that bread, man. You know what I mean? The front three is interesting here. Like, who do you go with on the wing? And Martinelli came off with cramp. Although apparently he is available. Tierney as well. Good news, they said. His was only cramp as well. I'm going to go Saka. But do I play... All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Saka. And if Martinelli's cramping up, he's not fit enough. He's not fit enough. I'm going to give Pepe a rest. I'm going to go Reece Nelson. Who these lot there? I'm going to go Reece Nelson. I think Pepe needs a bit of a rest. We've got Man City. He'll probably spend half of that game chasing after the ball. Let's be honest. It'll be a difficult game. I'll give Reece a chance, man. I think he's a decent young player. We'll never find out. The guy never plays. Raul said, man, I'm done with this club. Chelsea are spending free money on Koundé and Saul. Don't, mate. Don't. We're going for enough as it is. I've seen that on Twitter. They're selling more players to buy more other players. So we're in a different stratosphere to them, I'm afraid. But yeah, I would go with Reece Nelson on the right. Now, I'm trying to think up front. On one hand, I'm thinking, play Aubameyang, he needs a goal. But then Lacazette has only just come back, so is his fitness going to be too low for him to start the game? I feel like Aubameyang is fitter than Lacazette because he trained last week for one day. He came on for 20. I'd be tempted to go with Oba. Start Oba, bring on Laka, and hope that then they're both fully fit for Manchester City. So I'm going to go Oba. He's a skipper. I think the club are still trying to sell Lacazette behind closed doors. I'm going with that. Bring Lacazette off second half. Bring Lacazette on second half, should I say. And like you said, man, Aubameyang needs a goal. That team, for me, beats West Brom. Although saying that, we'll probably put 35 crosses in the air and their big giant centre-backs will win every header. I think that's a decent team. I think that wins. Lukaku straight into the fantasy team. Told you, man, triple captain against Arsenal. You can't think with your heart. ESR will be up top. Aubameyang needs to start Curtis to score. He does. He needs a goal. El Neni, false nine. Oh, man. Listen, this team will probably not be the team he picks. Let's be honest. He'll probably play El Neni. He'll probably play Eddie. Well, not Eddie. He might play Balogun. I don't know. He might play Bellerin. He could play anyone. Curtis is very famous in Korea. Hey, big up. We're worldwide, people. No more crosses, please, I'm telling you. Mr. Dollarhide said the back four looks soft, bro. I don't know if you know this, but most of our back fours are soft. we were soft against Chelsea. We were like a sponge, mate. It don't really matter what back four we play. We're soft. I think Gabriel, Tierney, they probably are aggressive two defenders. Obviously, we'll see with Nuno Tavares, but no, I think that's a decent team. But I don't expect to see that team, and it's going to be a tough game. Honestly, it's going to be a tough game. I'm going for a win. I think we will win if he picks the right team. But if he picks the wrong team, it could be a long night at the office. But I think he will go fairly strong because he knows he's under a heck of a lot of pressure. So we'll see. But I will be here for a watch along tomorrow. Big up to all of you for letting me know the game is on Sky. I actually thought the game wasn't on television. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. So I'll be live tomorrow from 7:30 for that one. Bowie the Cat said, disrespect to sponges. Even the sponge is tougher than that. We need a PSG stream. That's coming, man, 100%. I don't think Messi's made his debut yet. I think it's this weekend. I might actually do that, you know. I might actually do that. With Arsenal playing early on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff against Man City, I'm pretty sure that PSG play on the 29th, I think. PSG, let me just check, people. PSG against Rem, is it? Rems? And I think that's going to be Messi's debut on Sunday evening. So I may do a watch-along for that, so look out for that. Bonjour, ça va bien, Cotis, PSG? Comment ça va? We'll be there, people. We'll be there, so we'll do that. But listen, tomorrow, I'm going for a 2-1 win for Arsenal. Not convincing. I can never be convinced with this Arsenal team at the moment. But I'm going for a 2-1 win. I will be back tomorrow. I'll do the 2 o'clock show as always. I think there will be some transfer news done by then. I think Torreira will have probably been announced at Fiorentina. We'll know whether Willian is leaving, and hopefully we can get a player in. So I'll be back at 2 o'clock tomorrow. With your usual update, and then I'll be back at 7:30 tomorrow night for the watch along, which will be Arsenal against West Brom in the Carabao Cup. Also, just looking ahead to the weekend, like I said, I will probably do a PSG stream on Sunday evening, and then on Saturday we've got Arsenal against Man City at 12:30, so look out for that. I'll be on about 12, and I'll also be doing Liverpool against Chelsea at 5:30 on Saturday as well. So stay tuned for that, people. Listen, big up to all of you. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Still over 2,000 people in the chat. Make sure you go in the description as well. Vote Curtis Shaw TV for the awards. You can see all of the details in the description. Big up South London's finest. And people, we will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bless.